Hello guys, welcome to Articles Read series. If you don't know what the series is about, it's about me as a child and having a hobby to cut newspaper articles and thinking how to read them then. But it's like after 8 years I'm reading them and I'm glad that I can share this knowledge with you. Plus I'll tell you my opinions whether I agree with this article or whether the article is still interesting to me or not, or the summary of the article at the end also. So CO2 emissions highest in 2010. Paris. Energy related carbon dioxide CO2 emission reached a record high in 2010, up by 5% from the last record in 2008, the Paris-based international agency IEA said. Emissions in 2010 are estimated to have climbed to a record 30.6 gigatons GT. The last record in 2008 reported CO2 emission of 29.3 GT, which followed by a dip in 2009 due to global recession, Xinhua said, quoting the energy agency. The IEA envisaged 2010 data and potential future emission a serious setback to a target of limiting temperature increase to 2 degrees Celsius at the UN climate change talk in Cancun in 2010. Our latest estimates are another wake-up call. The world has edged incredibly close to the level of emissions that should not be reached until 2020 if the degree Celsius target is to be attained, said Faith Barrow, chief economist at the IEA. To achieve the goal of 2 degrees Celsius limitations, global energy-related emissions in 2020 must not be greater than 32 GT. This means that over the next 10 years, emissions must rise in total than they did between 2009 and 2010. The energy watchdog said in a press release on May 30, given the shrinking room for maneuver in 2020, unless bold and decisive decisions are made very soon, it will be extremely challenging to succeed in achieving this global goal agreed in Cancun, Birol added. In terms of fuels, according to IEA, 44% of the estimated CO2 emissions in 2010 came from coal, 26% from oil, and 20% from natural gas. Region by region, the IEA estimated that 40% of global emissions came from 34 member OECD Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development countries in 2010, and while non-OECD emerging economies saw stronger increase in emission as their economic growth accelerated. If addition on per capita basis, OECD countries collectively emitted 10 tons more than 5.8 tons in China and 1.5 tons in India. Just to report that more carbon emissions are there, and non-OECD emissions should so strongly increasing emission as their economic growth accelerated. As the economic growth accelerated, more CO2 is released. So that's it, guys. Not so much interesting.